About this gathering, something like this, you know.
It's a lot of tape recorders and cameras, so this is a first. The press in junior college basketball isn't the same, so it's quite a big difference. I think that I'm 26 years old, so I think I've lived through a lot of things, and if the worst thing that I have to deal with is, you know, media or, you know, someone at a game saying something, then I think I'm well off.
The process started off very simply. It was Fran coming to me. I didn't know who Anthony was. I didn't know anything about his background, where he was playing, etc. And Fran said, you know, I have an interest in a young man, not so young by recruitment standards. And look, he has this in his past. Should we keep looking into it? And I said, well, tell me more about it. He had found out, he had learned some things. And I said, yeah, let's keep going. Because from what I had heard, this is a situation that had occurred many years ago. And between that time and today, the more we kept learning about Anthony's recommitment to education and recommitment to his life and changing other lives, it was worth continuing the conversation.
Ultimately, it took a different direction for me when I talked with Anthony, and he described in detail what he did, what transpired since then, and what his mindset was as he was in the midst of a fabulous year in junior college, and then what he hoped to do in the future. And it was genuine. It was probably, quite honestly, Rick, a little bit different than what I was expecting to hear. You know, he didn't dismiss it. He still felt bad that he was involved, but was very adamant. But the only thing I can do is change what happens from this point forward. And I remember one of the things he said to me that really resonated with me. And he said, you know, I have 29 nieces and nephews, and they look up to me. And I have an opportunity now to make that an incredibly positive experience for them.
And you're comparing Anthony's situation to someone else's situation, and the two poor decisions have nothing to do with each other. They're not related. And so again, I sat there and tried to get to know a young man. I only met with him one time, but through Fran, got to know him better as well. And then the other difference was, you know, 8 years had passed, and a lot had happened in Anthony's life. And watching what he had done with himself during that period of time, it just I became more and more impressed as the process went.
Well, I think that from prison you learn to value the things that you didn't necessarily value when you were in the free world. Me myself, I learned a lot of patience, I think, because things, you know, they don't work on the same, I guess, level as they do when you're home with your family. You know, you can't go to the refrigerator when you want to. You know, just simple things. You can't, you know, roll down your window in the car. There's no cars. So I think valuing the smaller things in life that we don't necessarily as people value. Me myself, I can say that I didn't value as much. I think, you know, I value them being able to, you know, go to my niece's graduation or my nephew's graduation. Just small things I've grown to love and respect. I knew that I didn't want to go back to where I came from, so that wasn't even an option for me at that point. So I continued to look for jobs. I would get jobs and, you know, get fired from jobs, and I actually got a job working at a deck company. They like build decks, and I wasn't actually building decks. I would go door to door, and I've never lied about my situation on the application or anything like that. But I guess he didn't speak with his higher ups, and once he did speak with his higher ups, I got my job, and then I ended up losing my job because of my past, and he explained that to me. So it was kind of tough getting jobs. I mean, a lot of people don't want you to work for their organizations, for the places, because they pass. Well, his wife makes this apple dessert. And on all of my other visits, I didn't get any dessert. So she made this apple dessert, and I was like, you know what? I can't turn down apple dessert, so we chose apple. No, I think that the coaching staff, they have a really, really good coaching staff, a knowledgeable coaching staff. He wins. I hate losing. The school that I had to choose from academically, they weren't too far from each other, but academically, he's graduated a lot of athletes, and I can respect that. I definitely wanted to get my degree. So I think, and then the fans, when I came to the game, I came to the Purdue game, and they won. So that really didn't have an effect on it, but just to see how the fans reacted to the players, to Jared Cole, when he was, his senior night, I think it was senior night, and everything about it, the fans, the kids would walk up to me, they haven't seen me from anywhere, and they wanted to take pictures with me, and I think that the fan support is really, really great in Iowa. So I didn't see that necessarily as much at Penn State or Nebraska, but the fans. Today I live with Mel's son, Sabi, and we woke up and I was like, man, my foot is hurt. He was like, man, you're 30 years old. So he was like, you're getting old. So I laughed it off. But I mean, if I know I'm going to get it from my teammates, so I mean, I don't think it gets any worse than getting it from your teammates. So, it's going to be things that are going to be said, and like I said, if that's the worst that I have to go through, then so be it. It's not going to, affect me any. When I'm in a game, I kind of focus on the game, and what the coaching staff is trying to tell me, and that's pretty much it. Get the opportunity to know me as a person. If a person meets me and they don't like me in any type of way, or they have some reservations about me, then that's kind of a personal problem, I would say. Not to sound cocky or arrogant in any type of way, but I feel like I'm a good person. I've grown from my past. I'm a good person, and I'm ready to move on. So I think the most pressure comes from my family. My nieces and nephews, and my brothers. Not only am I representing myself, I'm representing them, on top of representing the University of Iowa and the coaching staff and the president. So I understand that I'm representing a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So I use it as motivation.
I think the reason I'm sitting here is I don't really believe it to be as big a chance as everybody else seems to think it is. Because I've done my homework and I believe in the guy sitting next to me. So the challenge, as I view it, is how do we get him ready, and how does he fit in with the rest of the players, and how do we utilize his skill set to win a Big Ten championship?